All right, welcome. I am very excited to have with me my second vice chairman. Barb beat you to it.
She beat me to it.
Barb beat you to it. But I am with the head of tax for PwC in the U.S., Mr. Roy Weathers.
Happy to be here.
Very excited to have Roy on the Doug McConey vlog.
I was wondering when I was going to get my opportunity. You know, I've been watching this. I'm seeing all these people. I'm thinking, I know Doug. When am I going to get my chance? So
here's your chance.
Yeah,
and so we're at the fall partner meetings.
Yeah.
It's hot. It is hot down here.
You're gonna tell them where we are?
We were originally going to do this interview outside, and then as I started to sweat and Roy showed up, so we moved it inside, and there were some people very nice at the resort who allowed us to use this conference room.
Yeah,
so it is much cooler here, but I'm actually still sweating.
That's all right.
So Roy, we've been spending a lot of time at the fall partner meetings talking about, technology and really how that's disrupting our industry. And, the Doug McConey vlog, really, we have a lot of kind of young viewers and people that are starting their careers and a few of us older viewers as well. Yeah. But I know this is something that you're very passionate about since you've taken over the tax leadership role. Yeah. And, how do you see technology from a very macro perspective? How do you see technology changing, how we work and how we do things?
Right. So first of all, it is great to be here. And I have to give credit to Mark Mandola, who really ushered in the technology wave into PwC tax. But, I picked up that mantle in my strategy role for a couple of years. It's something that was clear to me, the part of our future. And how can you not be excited about technology? I mean, first of all, the definition of technology is so broad and so wide, but how can you not be excited about it? And once you get over sort of being excited about it and you think about running a business and being relevant to clients and being something that's attractive to new talent, you gotta really roll up your sleeves and get into technology. And so that's what I've tried to do, and that's what we've been doing. We've done some pretty incredible things over the last several years. We've run academies, we've rolled out some Power BI tools to all of our people from a top-down and from a bottoms-up perspective. We're really focused on it.
So I'm a tax lawyer, tax accountant.
Yeah.
How do you stay current? That's one of the things that I find challenging in my business and in running, working in the international tax group.
Yeah.
How do you as a business leader stay current? Is it just reading? Is it talking to people? How do you learn? How are you learning this stuff?
It's a great question. I was asked this the other day. I was speaking in front of a bunch of students, and they were asking me, how do you stay up? And I would just say there are a couple of ways. One, you have to make sure that you are listening. And I mean listening. So whether it's social media, whether it's just, traditional media, just listening. The other thing that I found is I talk about it so much that I have people sending me things. Like sending me, hey Roy, here's something new on AI I know you're going to be interested in. Here's something new on a Power BI tool I know you're going to be interested in. And then lastly, I consume a lot of books. Yeah. My Kindle is always with me. I listen to, books on audio. So, it's just, what are you listening to? What are you spending your time thinking about?
Yeah, leaders read. And that's going to actually, I think, be something as part of my second season where actually I think I might do books and do some book clubs. And, for me, at this part of my career, after doing international tax for 18 years, I feel like this technology aspect is just a brand new, and I'm just trying to consume and read as much as I can. And but I think when I started with international tax, I didn't know anything.
Right.
And you talk to people, you listen, you read.
Right.
And for me, it's really trying to understand, how it can potentially change the business.
Yeah. The other thing I would just say really quickly is find an area that really, really interests you in technology. Because technology is, as I said, it's broad. So, you want to make sure you understand the landscape, but find something that really gets your attention and then go a little deeper in it, because it's all connected.
So, with all these technology changes, there's significant disruption in the business. And, it's one of the things that you've talked to as part of some of the leadership teams and one of the teams that I'm on with you is really encouraging disruption. We think of this taxi business, the getting Uberized or whatever you want to call it.
Netflix.
Yeah,
it's just like a
the
story
Blockbuster. One of my favorite
right,
Twitter
right.
accounts is the last Blockbuster. I don't know if you follow it, but it's like it's a guy who just acts like he's employed by the last Blockbuster. He tweets once a day, and of just totally, business that is completely ostracized and obsoleted.
Right.
And so what do you do as a leader to try to encourage that disruption? And you've been leading our tax practice now for.
I'm into my 3 years. I spent a number of years in the strategy role in New York, and now as a leader in the national practice. It's interesting this notion of disruption because it's not new, right? I mean, if you go back, Henry Ford said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse,
right?
And he was disrupting. What people thought was the mode of transportation. So disruption is not new. I see myself as a leader. My single job when it comes to disruption is to make sure it stays on the table. Because as human beings, we have this innate ability to try to sort of protect ourselves. Right? And we block out things that really relate to us by saying can never happen to me. Right? It's not. That's great for Netflix. The taxis.
We get comfortable.
We come, and it's never going to happen. And so one of the things I try to do is just say, no. It's on the table. If it's on the table for other industries, it's on the table for us. Because the notion of disruption is not new, and make it part of our everyday lives that we think about it. And the best situation is where you disrupt yourself.
Right.
So you become the disruptor, and that takes moving out of your comfort zone to do it in a real way.
So what about a lot of the young people? And I spend a lot of time with our talent acquisition teams and talking to college students and prospective students.
Right.
Well, what do you tell the students that, are they going to have jobs in 10 years? Our new associates and, I mean, frankly, our new partners.
Right.
I mean, what's your view on sort of the future state of accounting and the tax practice?
Right. So there's a lot out there around technology replacing industries and jobs, right? I'm a big believer that it will be human interaction and expertise alongside technology. So humans, technology. And we do it today. So the example I like to use is, you get in your car, you get up, you watch your car is a machine, it takes you to the train station. Right? You get out, you walk to the train station, the train moves really fast, it brings you to your office. You walk to your office, you get on the elevator, right? You get off the elevator, you walk to your desk. So it's this constant interaction. So my message is get comfortable with it, right? Be a learner, right? Those who feel like they got it, they know it, they scare me, right? If you're a learner, if you're comfortable with the fact that you will have to interact in different ways. And by the way, that technology is really fast.
Oh, yeah.
And it's consistent. And once it learns, it's pretty accurate. So you have to get comfortable with that. I think it's a huge opportunity for mankind because it allows us to tap the highest levels of our intellect.
And I think it's a great opportunity, particularly for our young people that often are more comfortable with technology than guys like you and myself. And I think it really creates a huge opportunity. One of the other things that I recently read was, at the turn of the 20th century, I think it was something like 40 to 50% of the entire economy was based on agriculture.
Right.
And if you would have told people that tractors and technology, that was going to completely disrupt and take and change agriculture, well, what would all those people do? You would have said, well, we're going to have mass unemployment. And clearly that didn't happen. So I got a question from one of the college students, and I was like, well, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing, but we will be doing things, right?
Absolutely.
We've been around for well over 100 years as an organization. It might be completely different than
almost 150.
Almost 150 years. We've been around for almost 150 years, and we're still here.
That's right.
I think somebody also at the fall partner meeting said that at one point PwC's, and this is I think going back 30 plus years, the goal was a computer on every other desk.
Every other desk.
There's a computer on every other desk.
Now it's probably like two in each.
Right, absolutely.
One in each hand, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the last question for you, Roy, and I ask this of everybody I interview, if you had some advice to give your younger self, so when you were coming out of college, if you had some advice to give your younger self, what would that be? What would you tell a young, aspiring, energetic Roy Weathers?
So I would give myself advice as my younger self that I received in my, I would say less younger self. And that advice is simply this: get comfortable being uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know that you're like, what do you mean? Well, particularly today, when we talk about technology, you may go from like feeling like I got it, I understand what I'm doing, to like I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, what does this mean? And the notion of getting comfortable being uncomfortable means having confidence that that your willingness to learn, your curiosity, and your willingness to, quite frankly, roll up your sleeves and really dig into the details of how a piece of technology work or why is something working in the industry will serve you well. It will serve you well. And by the way, that's something that mankind has that technology doesn't.
That's right.
And so get comfortable being uncomfortable and have the confidence to know that you're curious, be curious, right? That your curiosity and your willingness to really understand and grow and learn will take you where you need to go.
Well said. Well, Roy, thank you for your leadership.
Oh, it's good to be
thanks
here.
for participating
Invite me back.
in the Doug McConey vlog. You have an open invitation for the Doug
Awesome.
McConey vlog.
This
Roy
is
Weathers,
great.
ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Take care.